Hi, my name is Jen Loki, and it is April 19th, 2023, and it is doing my digestive system portfolio item. So, let's get started. All right, so we are going to talk about the pancreas and the liver and how they aid in the regulation of digestion. So, let's see if I can make it go. There we go. Okay. And so your pancreas has many functions, has endocrine functions, as well as dealing with the digestive system. So we'll focus on just those. The pancreas secretes both digestive enzymes and hormones that aid in the digestion process and help control it. So we're going to look at these more in depth. Okay, one of the digestive enzymes is lipase. And lipase, moving myself here, lipase it works with bile to help break down fats. And more specifically, it takes more complex fats like triglycerides and breaks them down into glycerol and the fatty acid chains. And these products, the fatty acid chains, can be carried in water-based fluids like your blood and your lymph and basically what your body's made up of. So it makes them more able to be transported and moved around and dealt with in the body. There we go. Okay, another digestive enzyme is protease. Protease helps break down the proteins that you eat from your diet, and it helps absorb the essential amino acids, those building blocks that make up the proteins that you need. It also keeps the gut bacteria and yeast and potentially harmful substances kind of at bay, keeps them from harming and keeps them using their powers for good instead of evil in your gut. And then another digestive enzyme released by your pancreas is amylase. This is also one of those that we talked about being released from your salivary glands. But amylase breaks down starches into more usable sugars. So first maltose, and then the maltose busts up into glucose, which is the unit of sugar used for energy production. So amylase takes starch, makes it into usable sugar. Okay, so those were three digestive enzymes from the pancreas. The pancreas also secretes hormones that regulate digestion. So one of those is insulin, and insulin is made in the beta cells of the pancreas and helps the cells utilize the sugar that's in the blood. So it takes up sugar from the blood and shepherds it into the cells to be used. Whereas glucagon does the exact opposite. So they work in opposition to each other, also secreted by the pancreas, a hormone made in the alpha cells of the pancreas, but it sends a message to the liver when the blood sugar is really low to release glycogen and break down the glycogen that it's storing into glucose, so it's usable sugar. So glucagon comes into play when the blood sugar is low, and insulin comes into play when the blood sugar is high. And then other pancreatic hormones also dealing with digestion, gastrin, which is, most of it is released, it seemed like, from the G cells in the stomach, but also is made in the pancreas and signals the stomach to release more stomach acid when there's a meal and digestion is happening. And then amylin is made from the beta cells in the pancreas, like insulin, but it helps control the appetite and signals the stomach when to empty. And yeah. Okay, and then you have your liver. The liver works with the pancreas to help regulate digestion. The liver has like 1 million different functions, so we're only focusing on these three because they have direct direct connection with regulating digestion. Okay, so the first one is it produces bile. So bile is made by the liver and then stored in the gallbladder. And the bile helps, again, works with the lipase and helps to digest fats, break down fats, and makes them more carryable, transportable in the hydrophilic body. So that is bile. Bile is green. That's why I made it green. The liver also regulates digestion by breaking down things that could potentially be toxic. And weirdly, when it's breaking down things like alcohol, which is toxic, or could be toxic to the body if it's left, it breaks it down into even more toxic substances before breaking it down into less toxic substances. So if you overwhelm your liver with too much alcohol or too much of these substances, it's bad news. The liver can't keep up. But potentially harmful substances, foxglove, I just put foxglove because it's toxic and toxic plants are cool. And yeah, so potentially harmful substances are broken down into eventually less harmful substances. And then they can be excreted or metabolized by the body. The liver regulates digestion, like we talked about with the pancreas and the release of the glucagon, which signals the liver to release some of the sugar it's storing in the form of glycogen, and releases it and breaks it down into glucose, which is the usable form, the simplest form. And like we talked about, that's modulated by glucagon, and then you have insulin on the other side of that. So be kind to your liver and pancreas. You need them to work. And I don't know why I thought that this picture it's like she's trying so hard to help her liver and pancreas by exercising and just generally staying healthy, really. The end. Just kidding, not the end. I just realized that I want to show you the, let's see here, the study aid that I made. So, tight, open, sorry. So this is kind of structured notes that people could, if they were watching that slideshow, they could use, and by writing down the stuff, in theory, it would help them remember it. So this is that. Pancreas and liver and digestion. Oh my. So first, where are the pancreas and the liver? And there were several pictures in that slideshow that showed where they are in the abdominal cavity. And just their like relative shapes and sizes. Okay, so the major ways that the pancreas regulates digestion is its production of digestive enzymes and hormones. And then talking about the hormones being released into the bloodstream, whereas the digestive enzymes are released directly into the digestive tract lumen. So they have to draw lines there. In the table below, list 3 of the digestive enzymes secreted. I think I listed 4, so they just have to do 3 of them, and then the function. And then here is like a further research question. What are 2 disorders or diseases related to digestion? So diabetes would be a really interesting one, a big one. So something goes awry with the production of insulin. So those B cells aren't producing insulin if it's type 1 diabetes, et cetera. I suppose they could do type 1 and then type 2, or just any other disease, pancreatitis, inflammation of the pancreas, so pancreatic cancer, something like that, that has effects on digestion, because the pancreas deals with digestion, among other things. And then in the table below, list 3 hormones secreted by the pancreas. Obviously, that was right in the presentation. What is bile and how does it aid in digestion? And then I like this one because I had a friend who just had a gallbladder removed. How would the gallbladder being removed impact digestion, or would it? So a little bit further research there. And then how do the pancreas and liver work together to regulate blood sugar? So storage of glucose as glycogen and glucagon and insulin regulating low, high blood sugar and such. And then here, I'm very proud of this because this actually helped me, I think, study, listing all of the sort of terms that I used and then a brief description of them and having to match them up. Let's see. And then like with the pancreas, I did would have people list 2 different disorders having to do with your liver specifically. And so, I mean, it could be things like gallstones, or, cirrhosis of the liver, or hepatitis, or something that deals with liver malfunction and then how that affects digestion. Okay, I think for real now, that's the end. Yay!